From many individuals, our blessed speakers, and now it's just time to hear a blend of what their views are. And our panel session brings together some of the brightest minds to share their stories, their challenges, assumptions, and even to review what really happens behind the scenes of creativity, leadership, and personal development. So this isn't just a lecture, it's going to be a mind juggling conversation, real art to art talk. So, and if you are here that you have questions, one or two things, I think this is the best time to approach the speakers and, let them hear your views and perspective and also prefer solutions to some of what you think, because at this moment, your voice really counts and it matters. So please join me as I welcome to the stage our panel moderator. She is no other person than Alabi Esther. Please let's jam our hands together for her as she comes to the stage. Can we keep clapping? It's not easy. Okay, just to reiterate, please let's ensure that we have our questions ready. You'll be asked to come forward to speak and ask your questions. So please let's get ready for that while the panel session is ongoing. This is Creavation 3.0, just to remind us, and it has been awesome. I believe that all our expectations have been met so far. Mine have been met, and I believe this is another wonderful session.
Creavation 3.0. No, I'm not feeling the energy. Creavation 3.0. Thank you so much, everyone. So we are in the panel section. You heard our speakers. We have wonderful speakers speaking to us. But now is the time to ask them questions. Speak their mind so you can connect to them. So on our list, join me to welcome our first panelist, Mr. Peter. Can you rise up for your citation, sir?
Tech Energies, a solar company equipping underserved communities with sustainable energy while raising solution-oriented youth through hands-on training. A faith-driven empowerment leader, Peter is passionate about reshaping mindset and reimagining innovation beyond conventional frames. Through the C-Tech Training Center, he has mentored hundreds of young Nigerians, many now building careers and businesses in the energy space. He also leads Future's Net, a faith-rooted platform designing tools, contents, and systems to support self-leadership and purpose discovery among underserved populations, especially those excluded by language or access barriers. One of its key expressions, the Future's Net project, runs weekly sections for children under 13 across multiple communities simultaneously, nurturing purpose, values, and self-leadership through godly mentorship. Peter is an alumnus of Godly Leadership Center, a graduate of the first Solar Energy Academy in Nigeria, Esther Energy Institute, and the first university in Nigeria, University of Ibadan. Under his leadership, C-Tech Energies became a recognized partner of the Nigerian Jubilee Fellows Program, NJFP. From foundation up, kids to youth, to community to nation, Peter's work is a living blueprint for building impact that lasts. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, and a standing ovation, and of course, excitement, please make welcome to the stage, Peter Ayodeji.
To our second
Peter.
panelist, join me to welcome Mr. Shokpe Afolayan. Can you rise up, sir, for your
Shokpe
presentation?
Afolayan is a circular economic practitioner, creative intelligence, and innovative solution consultant. He is an Ellen MacArthur Foundation from Lineage to Circular African alumni. He is the founder of Climate Emerge Innovation Development Hub, Climate Engagement and Innovation Development Hub, raising leaders and green entrepreneurs to lead transformational changes across Africa. He is passionate about how Africa can transition into circular economy. His interests span design thinking, climate change, food systems, innovation, youth capacity development, and turning ideas into phenomenal brand. He is the convener of Waste Innovation Challenge Nigeria, an initiative born out of the passion to inspire and challenge the next generation to provide creative, innovative, and circular solutions to waste and environmental problems. He is the founder of Garden in a Box Africa, GAP-A, a social enterprise that aims to eliminate hunger in Nigeria and across Africa by promoting access to a stable supply of safe, healthy, and nutritious food for all via organic vegetable gardening starter kits and a mobile application. GAP's aim mission is to inspire and cultivate 1 billion organic vegetable gardens across Africa by 2025. He is one of the winners of the 2021 Food System Game Changers Challenge, organized by the Rockefeller Foundation for designing rural food innovation system. He is a Bloom Global Fellow of the Milken Innovation Center, Jerusalem Institute for Policy Research, Israel. He is the author of the book Stop Thinking Outside the Box. He has consulted for Bosch, Kenya Airways, Business Schools Netherlands, Play, Nigeria Academy for Science, NAS, Air Namibia, Technology Distribution, Organic Cottage Farm, among others. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation and a round of applause, please make welcome Shokpe Afolayan.
Then to our next panelist, our one and only Ibadan girl, Adejoke Lasisi. Hold on, Mom. And to the last but not the least panelist, Mr. Abusalam Aderibigbe. With a So welcome again to our panel section, and I promise you this is going to be an insightful section. Thank you. So to our panelists, in 3 to 5 minutes, you tell us the story. We just don't need, we need the story, the struggles, and how you were able to journey through the struggles to where you are today. Please stop.
Okay, thank you very much. Although they were, I was just added to the panel list, and I couldn't present my citation. So my name is Abdusalam Aderibigbe. I'm an alumni of the Chevney Scholarship and also an alumni of the U.S. Department of State's Mandela Washington Fellowship, which are two of the global programs that I've participated in. I didn't just win this program, and like she said, it's a process and it's a journey that one must follow, right? So it all started back in 2016 upon graduation from university. I graduated from the University of Ilorin, by the way, and I studied linguistics. The reason why I'm telling you the course I studied is for you to be able to connect my story and to see that what I've been able to achieve doesn't necessarily relate to the course I studied at the um, one of the presenter earlier today talked about you positioning yourself for global opportunities. And part of the ways in which you can position yourself for global opportunities is to attend conferences like this, right? In conferences like this, you get to meet people. So you never underestimate someone that is sitting beside you. So you never can tell where that person is going to or where that person has been to, right? So I started attending conferences in 2016, and this extended towards my service year. And during my service year, I came across something called the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, which Madam Adejoke has earlier mentioned. So for you to connect what you are doing locally to make it relevant in the global landscape, you have to find one or two ways of connecting it to the Sustainable Development Goals. So for me, I joined the SDGs Community Development Service Group, and I started volunteering with them. So we engage in community awareness. We engage in projects that relates to those SDG goals in terms of health. So personally, I facilitated the distribution of over 1,000 mosquito nets to the community I was serving back then. And I was posted to the office of the governor, Niger State Sustainable Development Goals. So that's where I had my 1-year service. And that didn't just happen. It happened as a result of my willingness to volunteer. And that was the criteria that was used to select core members that was to be posted to the office of the governor. So I didn't stop there. I started, while doing my service, I started something on my own. And that was the name of my first business, SA Leather Works. And Madam Adejoke can attest to that. SA Leather Works, and we produce bags and footwears using recycled plastic waste. So as opposed to Madam Adejoke, she is converting directly from waste to products. But for me, I buy from people who have already converted this plastic waste into, there's something called Mako. So that's what I buy to produce my footwears. So anywhere I go, I carry my products around, and that kind of created awareness for my products. So I also started training people for free. And one day, it came to the awareness of the Director General of the office I was serving back then. And he came across my work. He saw my products, and he saw pictures of some of the free trainings I have organized. And that was towards the end of my service year in 2018. Towards the end of my service year, and he invited me and said, can I train people in his local government? And I said, yes, of course, I can train people in his local government. And he asked me to draft a proposal. That very same day, I submitted the proposal. On that very same day, he approved the proposal and made down payment for the training, which was to hold the following year. And I can boldly say that what I earned from that project is more than 2 years' salary of someone who is just getting into public service. So from that one single project, and it was just 1 month project, to come and train women and youth on how to produce my craft back then. So I traveled to Kotangora local government in Niger State back then, and I executed the project. Before I completed that project, I got another connection with the office of the wife of the governor back then. So, and that's because they saw my work. And she's also from Kotangora local government. And they saw the training I was organizing, and they invited me to come and work with them. So, and for 2 years, instead of coming back home to Ibadan, I worked with the office of the wife of the governor to train more women and youth. And not to take much time, me being able to put these works together the impact I made from these works and being able to narrate it in a way that convince panelists or readers of my application for the Mandela Austin Fellowship, I think is one of the things that gave me an edge. So this fellowship is something that people applied 3 to 5 times before they get selected. So, but for me, I was able to submit my application for the very first time, got selected for the interview for the very first time, and then got selected in the final selection for the very first time. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Our audience, please, we'll be taking 2 questions. If you have questions for our panelists, not now, kindly take note of the questions and pass it to the ushers. Just 2 questions. Thank you. Our panelists, please, let's keep to time. 3 to 5 minutes, please. Yes, but 3 to 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay.
So, and please, we need to, like, the story and some struggles, like, typical struggles that we can relate with, and how we were able to navigate.
Pure water. Anyways, thank you so much once again. My name is Adejoke Lasisi, and honestly, struggle yapa. You know, these things that you see us doing sometimes online, and it looks good. Behind the scenes, sometimes you'll be asking yourself, who send you work? I'm telling you, like, the struggle is real. So don't be intimidated when you see that sometimes we just come out and we smile our teeth and everything. Sometimes it doesn't always look like that every time, because you try out some things, they don't even work. Some things will be like, what is, like, you just get tired sometimes, and I'm sure that you would have been at that state one or 2 times. The thing that he said now, it looks so good, the way he got into the training, Kinika. But trust me, there are some challenges that he might have actually faced while trying to pull up those training. There's some empowerment that you try to do. Even with the money that they pay, you don't see participants. Yes, now? Like, it's free training, but people that you want to train, where are they? So there's always one challenge or the other. And you know, one thing that always helped me to like overcome those challenges is that I see them as exams. I see them as, if I don't face it, there's no way I will promote to the next class. I mean, I want to promote. I want to get to the next phase in life. And if you try to keep living challenges that, you know, some of us, we are so lazy to ourselves. We know that we need to overcome this thing, but we'll try to just keep it. Let us find a way to just like leave it behind. You still come and meet it there. It's not me that you are doing. So, you know, when I started Charlie Planet 3R and I started converting the nylon and everything, they did not come out well. I told you before that I cannot even buy the product I did, Abi. It was not even that. When I was doing it, the number 1 person that believed in me so much, my mom, she was telling me, she said, Jokemo waste the time, I reckon you only work. I'm telling you, she said it. She said that I should not waste my time. This thing cannot work. And honestly, those kind of things like kind of discourage you, especially when you hear those kind of words from your loved ones. So, but one thing that I always put to myself and I tell myself is that, Joke, it is not over. You must not give up. Giving up is not an option. Although there are some things that when you see that this thing will work, you will let. But honestly, I could see that this thing was going to work. And most of the time, you don't have to argue too much. Just make sure that the result speaks for itself. And when it now came out well, my mom came one day. Sorry. She said this is what she's talking about. And she started telling people around me, ma pure water no, joke woman need. And you know, that's how in life, even when you face some of these challenges, you know, if I don't tell people that, I've oranges, wara didin, we'll be using it to chase motor at the park. I'm telling you, we did egg buns. egg buns ta tún máa ṣe half ẹyin láwọn abẹ́ àwọn èèyàn to complain because there's no money. Honestly, it was very tough then, but that's life. Like, face lọ̀rọ̀ ilé ayé, that's the way life is. And if you don't try to face that challenge at that point, you might just like, keep pushing it out. But there's one thing that I just want to tell us, one particular thing before I drop the mic for the next person. There was a time, I thought about this earlier this year, and that was in 2014, my first grant ever. And we do not have any money at home. Like, somebody yanjewa. Like, Shege Pro Max, la ring bang. And I saw the opportunity online. They said we should pay 15,000 naira to apply to get the form for that grant. And honestly, 500 naira I do not have. And thank God for somebody. And that's why you have to have somebody that believes in you. Like, if you don't have one person that believes in you, sometimes you might not be able to, it might be very difficult for you to achieve your dream. I now told the person that's money that, please, that I saw one opportunity that is 15,000 naira. And I said, okay, send your account number. The person sent 15,000 naira, like no adding anything to it. Sent 15,000 naira to my account. I look at the 15,000 naira. There was nothing that we are going to eat at home that day. I went to bank. I got to the place. I used my ATM, collect the money. I collected the money. One spirit was telling me that, Joke, go home with this money. Go and support your family. Spend this money together. Another one is telling me that, hey, yeah, you want to chop your future. You want to use it to eat amala. I just entered the bank and I paid the 15,000 naira. And luckily for me, I won the grant, 1.5 million naira. That was my first grant. And thank you. And why I reflected on that particular stuff that year was that I look at it that it's been 11 years and everybody survived in that house. Like, regardless of we did not have food at that time. So, sometimes you feel like some problems will actually kill you. Trust me, they are making you stronger. Like, they will not kill you. We are stronger than we look. So, if we had actually used that particular 15,000 to eat that day, that would have been the end of everything. And that was the money that I won. That was what I now used to set up my business, like move from the back of the house that I was using. I now got a shop, got new looms and everything. And so don't be carried away and don't look at it that this problem cannot actually go away. So it can actually go. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello. All right. Thank you. All right. My name is Peter Ayodeji, as you will have seen from the introduction. And as much as I am tempted to tell the story from the beginning to the end, the time would definitely not allow. But I would like to start from telling a story that she might not know, but while I was working with the young minds, I call them young minds not because of the age, but because of the position of their heart. They are ready to be more. So while I was working with one of them, the person was interested in film making, and we had to work together. Many times when I'm done with my work, 10, 11, we work overnight on our story. So we did that, and when she wanted to submit the one for the finals, it was like, this thing is not going to fly. I saw the story, I was like, this thing is not going to fly. By the way, I'm not a filmmaker anyway. So, but I felt the story wasn't compelling. So what will I do? I've been following her story online. We've not talked one-on-one before. So I crafted a story around her, and I didn't even know the background. It was later when I was now following that I discovered that much of the journey of business people are almost similar. Whether you started from the top or from the bottom, the struggle is real. And one of the things that that story did for me even is to encourage me on my journey to say that no, this thing will work out. Because when I saw that the struggle, this thing is, when she says, oh, we started this way, we started that way, we created a story, and the story was something around the parent did not believe, but later on they saw her on TV, and then they appreciated that long even before I knew much about it. So why do I work with young minds? It's because I can relate with it, and I believe many people can relate with that too. While growing up, the people around me did not believe in what I believed. They translated what I was seeing differently. As a child, they would say, he's spoiling our electronics gadget, he's spoiling this one, he's spoiling that one. That is what the parents saw. They did not see the explorative state, the attempt to innovate, the attempt to create, and all of that. Now, when I saw that, and many of the things I wished I had been encouraged to do right from the beginning, something like I was trying to write a story one of those days when I was younger, and one of my parents saw me and was like, this is not the time for us writing stories. This is school time. And if there is anyone here who works with inspiration, you know that if you don't pen down an inspiration, once it goes, in fact, if you have lost money before and you have lost an idea before, you know that it's almost the same feeling, if not even bigger, when you lose an idea. So looking back at such memories made me to realize that I'm not the only one in this shoe. There are many other minds who are also there. What do they need that I can make available? So that was what brought me into solar business, because I realized that we are going to digital age and we needed technology. If there's anything you want to do right now, even tailoring, whatever, electricity is part of it. So I decided to do that, not necessarily because many people were doing solar business, but because I wanted to create a hub where people could come, young minds could come and tell me, oh, this is what I want to do. All right, this is the facility, this is this, just use it. And let's see what we can create out of this. And I've been doing that for many years, And that is what pivoted me into what I'm doing. Now, what are the challenges that have not been said before? There is none. Maybe I'll just end with this story. When I was still learning about electronics and all of that, when later on I discovered that that is who I am, that is what I want to do, I met with, I was asking my parents, okay, I didn't even ask them anymore because they weren't supporting that. So I was like, okay, how can I get money? How can I get funds for all this? And I tried working. I would trek all the way, long distance, sometimes 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers to go and teach so that I can save up money to be able to start my own venture. And in the process of that, I was just like, well, let's just keep doing this. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't work. And one of those days, my uncle called me and was like, hey, how are you doing and all of that? And are you still learning this business after graduating from university? I was like, yes, I'm still doing that. And he was like, have you registered the business? I said, no. It was like, the government is doing, that was when we had this vice president, Yemi Osibajo, that was doing the discount on business registration. So I was like, I've not done it. He said, have you heard of that? I said, I've not really heard of that. But even if I heard of the discount and all of that, I can't pay for that. It was like, okay, send me your account number, and he sent me the money. So I did what he asked me to do the registration. He started 2 things for me. Because I was faithful with that money, I learned how to register business, and that became a business for me. Even till today, sometimes when I'm just broke, when I'm like in need of money, I just put that out. But because of doing that for myself, I was able to have another source of income. Now, the other part of it is, when I registered that business, the certificate was just lying there. Remember, I was still trying to make money for it. So after 5 years of registering the business, of not using the certificate to do anything, other than maybe one of the times I opened a bank account for the business so that it can be official. That was when there was an application by the government to register for something. So they required the business name and all of that. I imputed that and I did that. And that application lasted for, that's been 2020, 2019, thereabout. So when, all right. So when I opened my mail on November, I saw that out of nowhere, the government was employing persons for businesses and paying them on behalf of the businesses. So they sent me 5 employees and are paying them 100,000 naira every month for a whole year so that I'll be able to do what I wanted to do. My point is, if you do not waste the opportunities that are coming your way, more is still coming.
Okay, I'm really trying to see where to start from. How many builders do we have here? You want to build something, the next innovation, the next disruption. Who knows what a unicorn means in the startup space? You know? What's a unicorn? Awesome, awesome. Yeah, well done. Thank you. So how many people want to build a unicorn here? So because creativity is not just for, I don't know, maybe solving basic problems. I like to solve wicked problems. But let me quickly, as much as possible, in 5 minutes, do a recap of my life. So back then in school, I graduated 2008, and then one of the things I used to do just to take from my school fee, I'll go for trainings in Lagos, Ondo State, Adekunle Ajasi University. I'll travel every now and then. I mean, so in summary, what I want to tell you is thirst for knowledge, quest for knowledge. I'll travel, if you told me then this training, summit, or whatever it is, once I want to be part of it, if you had told me it was, say, 100K, I'll get there with 10,000 and I'll get crash. I don't know limits, I don't know impossibilities. So I did a lot of things on campus, no time to explain them. So I also wanted to emphasize in my story, big picture is important. So if you're here and you don't have a big picture, I mean, what you can call vision, maybe someone spoke about it, you must see 2100 from now. You know what 2100, this is 2025, 2100. You must be able to conceptualize it. That's the way I think. And that's why my first book, Stop Thinking Outside the Box. The world is saying think outside the box, but I'm saying we must stop it. Again, no time to delve into that. So I completed NYC. I only worked for 6 months my entire life. I knew I was going to build something. After 2 years, my mom would stylishly call me, don't you think you should pick up a teaching job? You know, just to at least hint some things. Because sometimes I would trek, take shortcuts, just to seek knowledge. I would make money, invest 90% of it buying books. I read a lot, and I still do. Books, a lot. So fast forward, I worked for 6 months, resigned, and with a lot of results, started my own outfit. I was consulting, creative intelligence. That has always been a part of my life. And I was doing fine, then I met this other woman, and she invested in me. The vision had always been to set up a creative agency and solve problems, wicked problems. I like wicked problems. I mean, don't just tell me regular things. So I met, while doing my thing, solving problems, I ran into this multi-millionaire, and she invested in both of us. So the dream was to start an advertising firm and think for brands. That's why you saw Kenya Airways, Namibia Airlines, Netherlands Business School. So 2016, we came together. It was like, yes, this dream, we're here. Then we started doing amazing things. Oh, Robert Bosch, a German firm. They're still like one of my biggest clients. And we did a couple of things. However, by 2017, I went to a KPMG conference. Again, I do conferences, and I came across circular economy. That was the first time I came across it. And I knew it was going to be a part of my life. But we're still running the agency, doing pretty well. We had a couple of staff, and we're doing, I mean, productions, creative works, and we're being paid in millions. I mean, in millions. I don't even mean. So we're really doing fine. Of course, 2019, 2020, COVID came, and it was like a joke. I'm talking about challenges too. Our clients couldn't pay us. I mean, we couldn't pay staff. So I moved to Ibadan. And I thought it was just going to be 2 weeks. Of course, my wife was here then. So I never envisaged living in Ibadan, my story. I was this Lagos boy and the global guy. Then I moved, I thought 2 weeks at the max. So I was always coming, see our weekends, go back to my office. But of course, our prayer was, this guy, may you have more clients in Ibadan so that you remain here. Then 2 weeks, okay, Ambode, right, yes. No, Sanwo-Olu. I mean, it will be off. We didn't know the extent then, COVID-19. 4 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, we had to shut down, sold everything, shared the money, paid some staff off, and it was like, okay, where do I start from? All over again. With all of the accolades and achievements in Lagos, I was this very popular guy in Lagos when it comes to creativity. Then I started praying. So for me, the journey has been, I've always been curious. I've always been optimistic, and I have plenty sense of humor. So about curiosity, optimism, and that spirituality. Then this idea came, Garden in a Box Africa 2020. Anyways, from my son's cartoon to reading a book to getting some inspiration, that was how I put it together, to friends calling me for urgent 2K. A friend called me, 2019, I was in his Range Rover. I mean, you know the way we respect Range Rover. We drove to one of my bros wanted to buy a property, and this guy took me there to check for my bros, and 2020 was calling me for 2K. I thought he was kidding. He mentioned it first time, second time, then third time. I said, Sheyi, are you serious? He said, yes. I sent it, Mr. Nice Guy. Then another mentee called me. Then I realized that I started planting in my backyard. So I came up with Garden in a Box Africa 2022. It took me to Rwanda. Last year, it took me to Germany. And there are several global partnerships on, Garden in a Box Africa. But in between a lot of bruises, a lot of, waiting for alerts, a lot of trying to push that innovation, a lot of trying to get that investor, trying to get that partner. So I'll just sum it up by saying, see, you must have a big picture. Something must be driving you. Because, you have to see it up there clearly. It doesn't happen like that for everybody, but there has to be something way bigger than you. It has to be way bigger than you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have to have what? A big picture. To upgrade your mindset, the first thing is understand your struggles. Everybody has struggle. Everybody's struggling with something. Accepting it, then positioning yourself to. And to Miss Adejoke Lasisi, how do you balance traditional methods? Third world country. And we want we are like looking at the US, looking at those big countries, we want to match up with them. Balance the traditional method that to match up with them. Like upgrading your mindset, what are those things you have to put in place for you to match? Because we are competing.
Oh, okay. Let me look dictionary by look for some meaning of some words. Anyways, there's something that one of my mentors that we always talk about. All this wala that all these developed countries are making noise up and down. They are the one causing the problem. I tell you, all these greenhouse emission and everything. Do you know that it's actually less than 4% in Africa? How many manufacturing firms do we have? How many things are we producing? We are not the one causing most of these problems. But at the end of the day, they dump these problems on us. That's just the truth. I wouldn't say that, okay, the way we're doing things with our hands, traditional way. Number one, aside from the fact that it was creating jobs, it was actually like reducing all this greenhouse emission, whatever, and everything. How many generators will you see around there? How many Okadas will you see around? In fact, we were more LD back then because we can trek like Kilode. But now, everything, before you know it, there's Okada, there's Morua, and all these things just keep causing problem into the society. I was in Japan recently this month, and I saw that all of the motors that they have in that place, like I did not see a single one. In fact, I did not see a single petrol station because they don't use petrol again. Most of their cars are CNG and electric cars. So like that's what they use. So there's nothing like smoke. Like, I don't know, maybe some of their rural area, or because I was not chance to go to their rural area. Even at that, I went to Kamikatu. Kamikatu is just a town whereby they have just 1,300 people in the whole town. And no single burning of these things. But guess what? Most of all the cars that they were using before, they find their way to Africa. They find their way to Nigeria. That's just the truth. They will come and dump the problem that they created in the first place. And most of us, before we can have access to all this CNG and kini, that's the truth, because these ones are even expensive. And they will probably be new ones. They will not be tokumbo that most of us buy. Third hand, you know, some of us don't even buy second hand. Second hand is even good. Some of us buy fourth hand. And, you know, you just have to make sure that in as much as you are trying to do something in a traditional way, find a way to make sure that, like on my posts yesterday or 2 days ago on Facebook, I talked about packaging. Like there was this stuff that I saw in Germany on their shelf, Epa. That Epa is not up to Agolokan. When I converted to Naira, it was more than 3,000. I'm only giving you 3,000 Epa. I saw it on their shelf, but the packaging was very nice. So regardless of us making all these things in traditional way, for us to make sure that it's appealing and it's globally accepted, because we see a lot, like, that's why I keep saying that traveling is a learning on its own. Don't see it as just having fun. You have fun, but you learn as well. So you see some of these, you need to see the way these people do their bags, they do their clothes, they do their food, like ordinary epa. The epa still have shell, they package it inside, but we will just hawk it around. You don't see. So even when we are doing something traditional, let us find a way to make sure that we find a way to we package it to what that they will like. So let us look at what they are doing so that we can copy. There's no wrong in copying to suit what your customer would like. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Abu Salam. Sam, how did you position yourself for global opportunity? Because you are someone with a lot of global experiences. How did you position yourself personally, from personal experience?
Okay, thank you very much. From my personal experience, as earlier mentioned, what I was doing back then was, let me just put it in a local language. I was a shoemaker. I produced bags, I produced footwears. But one thing I was able to connect to what I do was the Sustainable Development Goals. And I connected it to about 3 of the goals. And the major one of which is decent work and economic growth and climate action. So, and that's what I was able to, because you can't simply be narrating that you are producing bags and footwears without showing the impact you are making as a result of that, right? So while producing, I also train people. So I was able to connect the training aspect to providing solutions to unemployment, which aligns with decent work and economic growth, as well as converting recycled plastic waste into valuable products, which connects to climate action. So being able to connect what you are doing locally into what is relevant at a global scale is one of the best ways to gain access to global opportunities. And I've won so many global opportunities, both in the United States, the UK, and I recently worked with an organization, VSO, in Bangladesh as a social enterprise advisor. So, and all because of what I've been able to make of myself locally. It opened doors for those global opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you. To Mr. Shokpe Afolayan, how were you able to stay motivated for long-term goals? We're not talking about short-term. You can be motivated now. After hearing all this inspirational talk, you get home, you write goals, then you are fired to start with. How were you able to stay motivated for long-term goals? so that the energy will not die, because there will be struggles along the way. How were you able to stay motivated?
You know, as you were saying that, I remember those days, some of those motivational speaking programs will go for, I mean, then later on, we started calling them Aspire to Perspire. First thing again, there has to be something big, way bigger than you. So, I mean, like I said, from childhood, I've always been this person who wants to change the world. If you call randomly, 9 out of 10 of my friends, that's what they will tell you. So one time, a friend went to Canada, he left maybe 2014, then I posted something online 2022, and Larry called me and said, you have always talked about innovation. I said, excuse, since when? He said, yes, since secondary school. So there has to be something you are chasing, it has to be bigger than you. That's one. Then I have confessions. I'm sure we all know what confessions means. I speak life. I speak what I want to see. So I tell people, stop saying what you want to see. Start seeing what you want. So I have words, because there will be several times you'll be discouraged, especially when you are in this environment. People will tell me, we have now, one of the first of its kind. As I speak, the whole Kenya, in Ghana, you want us to set up. I don't do that, but before getting there, it's a lot of determination as well. If you know me, I'm a tired person. Never say never. Then, most importantly, who are your circle of? Who are those in your circle of influence? So you need that person. Iron sharpened iron. So most of my friends, usually they are like. So I have friends. I'm remembering one of them now, Dayayeni. Dayayeni went to Harvard 2014. I didn't have money to go. If you know where he is now, so those are the type of people that I keep as friends. So you can't have those type of caliber network and you ordinary. So I like to say that the other thing is, if you are going to build, say you want to build a very interesting system. You want to build, like, say, a modern system, an enabling system. You can't do that with outdated thinking. You must always think forward. I'm a futuristic person. So, I see things before they happen as well. Maybe it's a gift, I don't know. So you can't be seeing things, say, 20, 30 years, 5 years at times. And you're just, I can't grow cold. So if you put all these factors together, of course, then, like I said, I'm a Steve Jobs person. I know one day there's going to be a product that will truly change the world. So each time I think about that, it gets me fired. Thank you.
So, Mr. Peter, technical people among us here, like in tech sectors and related fields, balance the technical aspect of your business with business. Because some people tell you, I'm just technical. Yes, I cannot operate this. I can't operate a business, so I just have an idea. How do you balance the two together?
First, I would say work-life balance is a myth. You have to do it seasonally. What I mean seasonally is at each stage of your life, you have to know what you are prioritizing. So, as he has said, you have to have a big picture first of what you are trying to attain. Now, as a tech person, you try and, of course, all times belongs to God, but you try and break it into, at this stage, this is what I need to focus. And once you have been able to outline what is the most important part of the things you have to do, you have to just neglect every other thing to do that. So how do you now balance the tech side from business? I will give 2 suggestions, but all of them come under one thing, that is system. You need to create a system. That is important. Like, stop trying to be the macho of the game. Like, have friends, build team, invest in people. It is those things that help you to connect with people that will help you to achieve your dream. And one thing that is a pitfall of macho people is that they think they are all in all. Learn to know yourself, know your strength. If it is the technical that is your strength, look out for tools, for people that can help you achieve the business side of things. And if it is the business side that you are more inclined to, look out for people who would be able to do that part of things. The key is this: you are not a self-made, and you would not be. There will always be people who God has put in place to be able to help you to achieve those things. So for you to actually balance, you need to, one, have that big picture of where you're going, prioritize per season what you want to focus on at a moment, and then at such moment, the other aspects should not be left unattended to. Get someone, get tools. We now have even like there was an illustration about we don't need accountants again, just get an Excel sheet and all of that. So you can get softwares that will be able to help you to do that. And what I will just cap it up with is with the wisdom of the ages, of the old one, the sages. It works to get mentors, ask questions. How did you navigate this area? How can I do this? And that would be able to help you.
So, thank you so much, sir. Because of our time, one question. And anyone? The writer wrote, in trying to build a sustainable, how someone so they are passionate about more than one skill or career path, especially when clarity feels difficult and both areas seems important for long-term success.
Okay, I always like to say I'm sent to confused people. Do we have multi-talented confused people here? I mean, yeah, I used to be there. So what I tell people is this: if I were to advise you, I'll tell people list your top 5, those skills, whatever your talents and interests. Then I'll tell you, be sincere with yourself. I'll do you work together. Delete 3 of them. So you delete 3, then 2 left, and I'll tell you, I know it's not going to be easy. Can you pick one and run with it? There's something called law of contraction in branding. There are 22 immutable laws of branding. There's one law of contraction. Do something well, then you branch out once you have roots. I mean, whatever your interest is, there's one, you pick one. However, like you mentioned now, you may need a mentor to guide you. And I've done that with a lot of guys. You think you're multi-talent. I used to be there. 2012, I had to shut down everything. They will call me for real estate. They will call me for fire extinguisher. They will call me for creative works, for photography. So, and I saw that this guy, I told him, stick to one thing, and he was soaring. So I shut down everything. I prayed. Of course, I'm a prayer person. Talk to yourself, meditate. You will hear things, you will seek direction. And I realized that there's something I do easily. Just tell me you want to sell something, you have an idea, you want to build it. Then I just shut down everything and I focused on. And the moment I started, doors were just opening, So that's what I would advise you. List them out, pray over them, but start deleting. Well, of course, if you have a mentor too, you can talk to. Streamline everything to just one thing. One thing. Of course, there are several other things around it. You have to also consider global opportunities. Be smart. Global opportunities. Which one can you scale, build? as quickly as possible. You can start with that. But most importantly, I'm not an advocate of passion, But then, we can't ignore the place of passion. There has to be one that you are so passionate about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shokwe. Yes, just 1 minute. About what he said, niching down is very, very important. It will just be confusing you, not only you guys, even your audience. Today you are in water, tomorrow education, next tomorrow you are the one that you define in agriculture. Like they will not be known for something. If you are known for something, you'll be a voice in it. You'll be someone that when a particular event or something that they want to speak about that particular this thing, you are the one that they will definitely think about. Like sometimes when they say, okay, we need somebody in this also sector, like before they mention 10 people, they will definitely mention your name because you've positioned yourself into that thing. It's always so funny when some people go and pitch. Do they think everybody is like them? They will be pitching like 5 businesses at the same time. It's like you pitching 5 boyfriends at the same time. They will not take you seriously. At least, even if you have side runs, side hustle, keep it. You'll be talking that it's only this one that you have. Even some guys do it. They have side chicks. But they will still be putting their wife. You get what I'm trying to say? They will not put the side chicks up there in the picture. They will not celebrate that one. You understand? So when you are doing your business too, is that main hustle that you should be talking about, the side hustle. We know that you are doing it, but let it be like you are sure doing it, but not, that's not what you be preaching. Be known for something, like known with somebody, you get. Thank you.
Practically, what I used as a sieve is this. At a time, this is what I love to do. This is what I know how to do that can give me money right now. I shut down everything and I focus on that at that stage. So when you use that, for those who are not able to, so, because it's difficult for me sometimes to say, this is my top best stuff. If you have that issue, you can use money to separate it. Like, okay, at this moment, I know I have people who can buy graphics design from me. So you shut down everything you can do, focus on that. You can now invest that money into other things so that they can also blossom. And when you are ready to switch to another thing, shut that down until you have capacity to be able to carry it on.
Thank you so much. I'm sure you've learned one or two things from this panel section. It is not enough to learn it. Put it to action. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for having me.
Wow. It was a moment well spent. We can see that even beyond the glam, beyond the glory, there is what? The story. So far beyond what we see on social media and even what, is being sold to us, we should understand that everybody came from a place of starting. Nobody just assumed anywhere. So thank you so much, our panelists, for, sharing your story and experiences with us. For me, I would say that I am motivated, not just motivated, I am looking forward to starting the next big thing without holding back. And I believe it's the same for all of us here. Thank you once again.